Welcome back to the NCHC podcast. My name is Paul Gilmore, and I have the pleasure of being joined today by a newcomer to the homeschool scene, but somebody who is already making waves on and off the court. And I am joined by Miss Jayda Kearney. And Jayda is on the CHSM Crimson Knights out of the Houston area. And Jayda, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Thank you so much for giving us the time and for joining us. And I had mentioned during the introduction that you're not new to basketball by any means. You were already a highly rated player in the Houston area before joining the Crimson Knights. But you are new to homeschool basketball this season. And so, just for people who may not know who you are or kind of what you stand for, how would you describe yourself to someone who doesn't really know anything about you?
That I love fashion and I always like to keep my hair done and really like to be dolled up for real.
I was going to say, I saw on some of the Twitter videos that were posted of your highlights and different things like that. One of the first things I noticed outside of the basketball talent was the length of your hair. I saw it was very, very long. And I was just curious,
Yeah.
is that something that you've always enjoyed, or is that something that is kind of like a
Um,
signature of yours?
yeah, I just feel like I don't look good with like like small or like short hair, but like I love my hair long. I love it.
Do you feel like it ever gets in the way or hinders you on the basketball court?
No, it doesn't.
You never had like a spin move or, a defender accidentally grab some hair while you're out on the court?
Yeah, but it doesn't really happen normal like recent, but I mean, I love my hair, so I'm just gonna keep it long.
So I noticed your jacket is the CHSM Crimson Knights jacket
hmm
for your team and your program, and I'm sure you were aware that CHSM last year was a national semifinalist. They made it to the Final Four at the national tournament, and so they have obviously, your team I'm sure has their sights set on another deep run. So, what was the welcome like when you first came into the gym, when you first joined the squad, and how would you say y'all have had a chance to maybe gel together this season?
Soon I walked in, they all came up to me and told me their names. But now it just feels like I've been on this team for years. It's that they don't act like I'm new, and that's what I like about this team. And we all get along, and it just we all just combine together, like make that click. So like we're just all, it's never been like a time I felt that I was just alone and just new on this team. It's just like it just clicked.
It's a pretty special thing for a team. I know a lot of times when you have someone join the team brand new, you can have that feeling of an outsider or, on the court, maybe somebody wouldn't notice, but off the court, there's not that same team cohesion. So I think it's really cool. And I think it says a lot about your squad that you had that feeling of just, being welcome and immediately jumping in and feeling like you're a part of, this squad that has essentially played together since they were all really, really young. I'm sure, throughout the season, you've heard all the stories about them playing together when they were young and growing up together. And I think it's really cool for you to be able to join a squad that has that kind of talent and cohesion and, the ability to just join a squad that already is good and make them even that much better. I'm sure for CHSM, they had you come into the gym and you're able to walk in and tell them, oh, hey, by the way, I have offers from West Virginia, University of Houston, TCU, Purdue, Howard, Arkansas, Texas Tech, Arkansas State, or Arizona State, Clemson, Cal, Wichita State. Oh, by the way, I'm one of the top juniors in Texas. So, what was it like walking in, or for you to continue to play with that kind of recognition this season?
I feel excited and like I just feel like if I can do it, I feel like everybody else can get in the place that I'm in. So like I feel like I should be like a role model. So like everyone can get how I am now.
And for those players that are looking to play at the next level, obviously talent plays a huge factor into that. But for somebody, when it comes to work ethic or when it comes to the way they present themselves, what advice would you give somebody who wants to make it to the next level?
I feel like you should work hard, always believe in yourself, and I mean, you can if you want to, just think like you want to, and I promise you can make it.
So coming up, we were talking about this right before we started recording. The way that homeschool basketball works is, you play a season against all kinds of caliber of talent. You play against, private school, public school, other homeschools, depending on how your season is set up. And but at the end of the homeschool season, there are several postseason tournaments that happen. Starting with districts, which is next week, and then in February we have regionals, and then in spring break we have nationals. So, what are you looking forward to in participating in the homeschool tournaments for the first time?
I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a little competition, but I feel like our team, or my team, we have been working hard, so I feel like we're prepared for whatever that happens.
I had looked at before the podcast, doing a little bit of research, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the Crimson Knights. I think your team is 25-2, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
So two
Yes,
losses
correct.
on the season, and those
Hmm.
losses were against top Texas teams. So obviously, have had a lot of success across the board. So what would you say is one of the better wins for CHSM this season? Between the tournaments or any games that you all played, you've played some really great opponents. What's been one of the better wins?
I mean, all the teams that we have played, we have blown out. So like, I feel like, I mean, I feel like we're ready for any harder teams. And the two games that we have lost, we had like bad days. So I just feel like if we play them again, we'll be able to beat them.
So coming back to that mentality you were talking about of just feeling like if you think you can, then you will.
Hmm.
Awesome. So how prepared do you feel? Or you mentioned you blew out a lot of opponents this season. So how do you feel when it comes to those tournaments? Do you feel like there's any kind of pressure of like knowing, okay, I believe that I think that we're the best or one of the best teams. Do you feel like there's any kind of pressure that comes with that? Or is there a sense of freedom of knowing like, hey, if we do our best, we're gonna do okay?
Yeah, I just feel like if we do our best, we will be able to win. It had bring us a lot of competition, but I mean, we worked through it.
So whenever you are playing basketball, how would you say that, your faith and your family play into the way that you conduct yourself on the basketball court?
I mean, my whole family has played some kind of sports, and it just like clicked up for me to play some kind of sports also, so I can just.
As we're kind of wrapping up our time on the pod, I have to ask this because you mentioned how much you love fashion. Uh, on the court, do you have any specific things that like you have to have that for game day, or is it like what, off the court is my fashion, on the court it just is what it is?
I feel like I should have my lashes done and my hair should look good.
That's interesting. I feel like for some people, they're less. They care less about their looks when they're on the court, but then off the court.
Hmm.
So, but for you, it's really important also how you look on the court.
Hmm.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to kind of seeing how that all plays out. Again, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you guys are going to the South Texas district next week, the one in Bryan College
Hmm.
Station.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so as far as I know, I'm going to that one as well. So I'll hopefully get to see you in person. I'll come by and I say hello,
Hmm.
and good luck to you guys as you begin this postseason run. Looking forward to see you guys play in person. And unless you have anything else you want to add, then we'll go ahead and wrap up the pod.
No, thank you. But I'm thrilled to have an interview with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. Again, this is Jayda Kearney, CHSM Crimson Knights, and we'll be looking forward to them playing in the postseason and seeing how everything goes. And we'll see you guys on the next pod.